What's good? Shout out to my homie, the Fat King, 978 Diplomats 34 YouTube channel for helping me inspire me with this topic. It's your boy CJ Kovalev back with the boxing clinic, and he was speaking on some real shit, man, about how some of these bigger YouTube channels or bigger media, take the smaller guys' idea, but don't give credit. And that's just overall, man. You got to give credit to your sources. Your sources for sure. I think that's the first rule of being in the media. Give credit to your sources when credit is due. But he was talking about why is this Broner Mikey Garcia fight that was just recently made a couple weeks ago, and the buzz started about a week before that or 2 weeks before it was official that the fight was going to happen. Why is it bigger than this Andre Ward Kovalev 2 rematch? Obviously, Garcia and Broner, right now in their career aren't at the stature or the physical, peak that Kovalev and Ward is in their career. Established champions, number one, number two on the majority of the pound for pound lists that I've seen that are credible. And why are number one and two pound for pound lists, if you have them that were ranked pound for pound, are behind two guys that may not even be on the pound for pound list, depending on who you talk to. Why is this fight getting more traction than Garcia and Broner than Kovalev Ward? Which is going down in Las Vegas, the fight capital of the world, just not even boxing, MMA capital of the world. And this fight is going down at the boxing capital of the east of the world, taking that crown away from Atlanta Boardwalk, which is one of the venues that I love to watch fights at. The Barclay now. It's kind of, competing with MSG, why? For one, Kovalev does talk English, and we know what he's saying. He talks a lot of shit, and pretty much has fulfilled his obligation for selling the fight by talking shit. Andre Ward is, doing low-key interviews and taking the high road. Only time he created a buzz when we talked about he wanted to retire, and when he skipped his media obligation for the face-off. As far as Broner, master marketer. He's been talking shit, calling Garcia Mickey Mouse, taking fucking pictures with his ass out, telling all the haters to kiss his ass, pumping all types of shit talking out. In Miami training, throwing rocks. He's everywhere. He's everywhere right now. If he's holding a bottle with Don P, or if he's throwing ones up in the air, making it rain on strippers in the club with Nicki Minaj, he rubs shoulders with the A, B, and C listers. Andre Ward rubs shoulders with nobody. Steph Curry, maybe. He ain't out here, marketing himself and, boasting, or talking about how great he is or what he's going to do to Kovalev. He's just telling everybody to take a wait-and-see approach. The problem with taking a wait-and-see approach is, you got to pay for this fight. So I'm not waiting and I'm not paying to see potentially what you talking about you doing, and you only got like 12 knockouts in your career out of 30 fights or some shit like that. I'm not checking for you. Broner has been fucking, promoted and promoted and marketed as a 4-division champion. This guy with all this potential that casual fans want to see what he does next. Nobody checking for Andre Ward what he want to do next. And Mikey Garcia is a guy, he ain't got that much buzz. I think him and Kovalev is on the same buzz level. He's just not returning to boxing. I think it's his third or fourth fight back. Wasn't nobody checking for him. He's not a huge name. I think him and Kovalev is in the same boat as a name. It's just the difference between these fights is Adrien Broner, being the most celebrated, media darling, and the other two dudes at the bottom being who gives a fuck about them. What they do outside of the boxing ring. Even in the boxing ring, they could be the truth, but nobody's tuning in to see them because there's no hype to tune in about. The first fight was good, most definitely, but ain't nobody checking for it. A rematch, all the hardcores are checking for it, but as far as the casual fan, they don't want to pay to see Andre Ward, and you don't have to pay to see Adrien Broner. So that fight is already 10 times, 100 times marketed better just by Adrien Broner. Before even a poster came out, people were salivating for this fight. And the undercard, just makes you want to go buy a ticket because I plan to be there, God willing. Trout, Jared Swift Hurd for a title, Jermall Charlo, Sebastian Heelan for the mandatory spot versus Triple G. Leo Santa Cruz sound like it's going to be on the card. So the card itself is just shitting on, the whole Kovalev card and everything. But, just my point of view on the perspective.